Hi.
Hi, boyfriend.
This is cool to be on this side. We're almost out of props. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, it's so good. Hi everyone, my name is Lisa. Welcome to my channel, Vegan Vittoria. Today we have Peter. He is my boyfriend and our guest chef today. We have an amazing homebrewed kombucha. So you are in luck. He's going to show us the technique of how you can make it at home too. And we have a lot of friends that come over. We love having dinner parties. We serve them our kombucha and they say, you know, I'm not a fan. But once they have ours, they love it and they say, okay, now I'm a fan. So we have something really amazing here with what our recipe entails, and so Peter's going to talk about it with us today. So first off, will you explain what is kombucha?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi everybody. Kombucha is it's a natural drink. Actually, it's just a fermented sweet tea. It's produced by this symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, and over time they produce fermented sweet tea. So it's really easy to drink, especially for the summer. It's fantastic.
Nice, and it's very healthy too. That's why I really love it. You're really fortunate. We're going to share with you the whole step-by-step process. And so, Peter, will you explain at least the basic understanding of how it's made?
Yeah, making kombucha at home is actually really simple. It's largely a two-part process. The primary fermentation process is basically you're making tea and sweetening the tea and introducing your bacteria and yeast to the sweet tea that you make. And over 2 weeks, nature will do its thing and produce a kombucha. And then the secondary fermentation process takes about another 3 to 4 days or so. And that's the process you introduce flavor and a little color to the final product, so make it really fun to actually drink and fun to enjoy. Super easy process. The whole thing takes about 2 to 3 weeks. And today I'm actually going to show you that you really don't need any special equipment or anything other than some fermentation vessels and jars or tubs that you already have at home. And for the SCOBY, I'm going to show you how you can actually grow your own SCOBY with some store-bought kombucha. So you can really get started with practically nothing.
Oh, that'd be great. Also, making it is so much cheaper than buying it. It's really expensive to buy just one bottle.
Yeah, absolutely. To make this video, I actually went out to buy this bottle of kombucha, and it's $4.99, and it was really expensive. And you can make this stuff at home just as good, and it literally costs pennies to make. So super easy to make. I can't wait to get started.
Well, cheers to that. We're gonna get this process going.
Cheers. I want to begin just by showing you some of the tools that I have for making kombucha. This right here is a glass vessel that I bought from the store. I recommend something like this size will be pretty good. We drink maybe 1 or 2 bottles every day, and this will last us about a week and a half or so, just enough to make another batch. So this size, probably good. This is a good size to start with. And I would recommend something that has a faucet right in the front. It makes your bottling just that much easier. And to bottle, I also use a funnel. Stainless steel will be pretty good. So these are the bottles that I use. You have these wired cap on it. They can really, create a seal so that when you're actually ready to drink, you get that fizzy kombucha. You can get these. These are reused bottles actually from Trader Joe's ginger beer. So, we enjoy the beverage and we save the bottle for that. You can get them all different sizes, and these are our to-go sizes. It's really easy to use. So after the primary fermentation, I use these bottles for the secondary fermentation. And to introduce flavor, I've tried a lot of different things over the years. And I used to cut raw ingredients, or raw ginger, fruits, and all that stuff, and just add them to the bottle, and then I have to deal with getting them out and all of that. So eventually, what I discovered actually is just as effective if you just added your favorite fruit juices like grape or apple or even lemonade or any of that kind of juice. The flavoring is really good. If you give it 3-4 days, all of that sugar will be all eaten away. So what you have is just a nice flavor at the end. Super easy to make, and this is all that you need.
Awesome.
So to make a SCOBY out of a store-bought kombucha is really easy. All of the bacteria and yeast is already in a bottle. All you have to do is feed it and let it grow into something bigger so you can use that SCOBY to continue making more and more kombucha. So I'm gonna feed this with this mason jar that I have. And I'm going to put in about 1/3 of a cup of sugar. Like about this much. Don't worry, this sugar is not going to end up in your body. It's just going to be feeding the yeast and the bacteria. Alright, then after that, what you want to do is just put a piece of paper towel on top and put a rubber band around it, and this is it. And this way the bacteria and yeast can breathe and other stuff wouldn't be able to get in. So you want to take this and put it in your closet or in a cabinet in your kitchen where it's dark and cool for about 2 weeks or so. You're going to grow a little bit of SCOBY right on top of it. Okay, it's been 2 weeks. Let's see what we got. Oh, I see a little bit something. Look, that is our SCOBY. Okay, so in 2 weeks, our little bacteria and yeast from the store-bought kombucha actually grew a little bit of SCOBY. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna transfer this SCOBY and all of that good bacteria and yeast into a bigger jar, so we can actually fill that up with sugar and yeast and continue to grow until this whole thing has a bigger SCOBY, and all of that is kombucha. And then we're going to transfer that into an even bigger vessel for our primary fermentation process. And then after that, it takes about 2 weeks or so for every batch, and it's super easy. It'll just sustain itself going forward from there on. Okay, so this time I'm going to use actually this whole I think this is 2 cups of sugar, and it goes in my big jar, and all of my, and the SCOBY, all of that. Swirl. And I made some tea from earlier. I'm not gonna fill it all the way up to the top, although you can if you really like. Okay. And again, the same thing. Oh. In the closet for 2 weeks. Okay, so this is what we got in a couple of weeks. Actually, all of that SCOBY have grown from that little piece to like, oh my god, to look at how big it is now. So this is actually something you can use to grow the first batch of your kombucha. This actually is already kombucha. It's really, really tasty. You can start drinking this right now, or bottling, or flavor it right now. But I am going to use this to actually put in a big fermentation jar and grow a whole batch of kombucha. So, super excited about this. The first step really is to make tea. You can use any kind of vessel, and once the tea is boiling, you can turn that off and just start making your tea.
So what kind of tea do you recommend?
You know, you can really use any kind of tea. I just use, I find that the black tea is a little bit better. You can also use green tea, jasmine also work. But black tea seems to work the best. And I just use, I think about 12, 15 bags is good enough. Okay, now after the tea is made, you can just pour the tea into a vessel. And I usually like to pour the tea into the vessel after it cools down. Right. If you add your kombucha, add your SCOBY to the tea too warm, it'll kill it. Remember, it's a living organism, so you definitely don't want to harm it. And I've already sweetened this tea, so 2 cups of sugar in there already. Your SCOBY. Right there. Woo! Okay, so you want to fill it just close to the top, and that's good enough. And you want to create a little environment for it such that you can breathe, but none of the bugs or flies or anything else, the debris can actually go back in. So that's all you have to do.
Nice.
And from now on, if you wait for about 2 weeks, this should be ready. Okay, so another couple of weeks have gone by. I think our kombucha is totally ready. You can see actually the SCOBY have developed into this huge piece to cover the entire top. And it looks very much ready. So I'm gonna try it out to see how it is. Always try it out before you bottle. It should be really, really sour. Color looks good. It's definitely very sour and ready to bottle. So we're gonna bottle today. And before we bottle, you can put your fruit juices right into this bottle to introduce some flavor to it. The sugar in these juices is gonna be eaten up by the yeast and the bacteria over the next 3-4 days. And that's gonna produce gas as well. So you use these bottles to cap them really tight, and that's how your beverage is gonna get fizzy. So today I'm gonna use a combination of these apple juice and the grape juice, just to give it a little bit more variety. So for a bottle this size, I usually take about that much for this size of the bottle. And for this one, about this much for that bottle would be good enough. Okay, and that's the last of them. And I like to leave about 2 inches of a kombucha along with my SCOBY right on the top, so that I can make another batch of tea, and then you can just pour it right into this, and you can probably just continue doing this for about 3-4 times before having to clean this vessel. At that point, you just take it out and clean it. It's really easy.
We're ready here with our lovely kombucha assortment, and you know, that was really easy actually.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple process. Now, it took a little bit of time, because remember, what you're working with here is a culture of bacteria and yeast, and nature is going to take its time. But if you give it a nutrient and the environment that it grows, it's going to give you some really delicious drinks. Now, remember, we took our own time to grow our own SCOBY, so that it took about 2 weeks to grow our little SCOBY from the store-bought kombucha, and then it took another 2 weeks to grow the little kombucha to grow the little SCOBY to the bigger one, and then it took another 2 weeks to use the bigger SCOBY to actually make our first batch of the kombucha. So now from now on, actually it's just going to take about 2 weeks or so to make every batch of your kombucha. So you guys just keep on making it and keep on supplied of your delicious drink all summer long.
Thank you, Peter. This was so wonderful to see the step-by-step process, and we definitely encourage you to try this at home. And if you have any questions, do reach out to us. We'd love to be of support to you. If you have some success stories, please share. Also, sending your photos out would be really great to see, and you can also tag Vegan Vittoria on Instagram. And we look forward to seeing you in the next video, and we really appreciate all of your support so far. So please do continue to like and subscribe and keep sharing. We thank you very much.
Bye. And the bacteria that's in here. Woo! Woo! Busy. Step 1 in this process. Really good. Really good. Really? Our little 2 weeks. That little